There we go. Hey everybody. Just gonna ask that we start off by saying yes, I can hear you. Everything works before we get too far into all this. But good to see everybody. Today's gonna be a different kind of stream, but let's start with the basics. This is technically episode 62 of the Ration Museum Bulletin. Did I just freeze? Great. Hello. Did that work? Nope, it looks like I am frozen. Guys, right off to a good start. Is this working? That's working. Why is this not working? How about, nope. So I don't appear to be actually functionally working there. Everything. So I'm seeing myself as frozen. If you guys see me actually talking, then I don't know. I apologize. This is, like I said, this is a mess. Why am I frozen every time I look at this? You can hear music? Don't say that if there isn't actually music playing. There shouldn't be any music. There's nothing here producing sound. So do you guys see me as frozen frame or not? I would appreciate if somebody could let me know. I know this works, but I see myself as frozen. Yeah, shows me frozen. I got it. Thank you, Kaylin. Let's see. That doesn't make any sense. How about there? Okay, that might work. I think it might just be because I put the same video source in two places accidentally, so I'm just going to remove that. That looks fine. That looks fine. All right. And one last thing before I get started. Like started. I am going to put the chat in the video this time, just in case anybody shows up on Twitch. So we can have their chat show up here and vice versa. And for anybody who's watching on TV, realize that they're not seeing anything you guys say, and that's got to be a little confusing. So just bear with me. Gonna get that added. There we go. Gonna shift that around a little bit. There. What do you guys think? Or should I shove it over there a little bit more? Move that just a little. Okay, I think we got a fairly working setup. You know, we can go from here. You know, and this is all makeshift. This is on a tablet of all things. So, you know, I wouldn't say it's the best experience we're going to get out of this, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. So, let me get my hellos out of the way, and then we'll jump into what we're doing today. So, I see we've got, oh, wow, a lot of you guys. Good to see everybody. We already got almost 15 people in here. We got Fordman. Good to see you. Been a while. We got Rachel. We got Jesse. We got Amelie, we got Pete, we got Paul, we got Matt, Dub C, Bus Stop, Kaylin. All right, I think. Oh, and we got Rosie. Yeah, okay, there we go. So good to see everybody. It's been a little while. Let me switch over to this one. So we're still at my house. Museum's 10 miles away, and unfortunately there's not like one quick and easy way to get there. I'd have to take 3 buses or 2 trains and a bus, or pay like $20 each way for an Uber. So I just haven't been going. It's been pretty boring on my side. Otherwise, I've just been working on projects, trying to do a little bit for the museum here and there, with what I can do here. But for the most part, it's been kind of a hiatus. So good to get some ration time in. We're going to take a look at some of these humanitarian rations today and maybe talk a little bit about those. But overall, just good to be back. So hopefully I'll be getting a car in the next month, at some point. Am I? Bus stop just said I'm frozen. I see myself as moving. I see that this is moving. Seems okay. But once I get a car and can go back and forth again easily, I'll be back in there and we'll finish up the cataloging. We didn't really have much left to do. There were only a couple boxes, and then all the large stuff. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. So not Fordman, bus stop, do Control R or F5 and refresh, because it's good to go. You probably just stuck on when it was frozen. But all right, so all that said, I'm moving into trying to plan out the fundraiser for this year for the museum. Just so everybody's aware, the museum has been costing me about $10,000 a year to keep operating, between 10 and 12. That's a lot of money to me. I'm paying almost as much for the museum to exist as I am on my own rent. Actually, pretty much the same. I'm paying about as much for rent as I am for the museum. So it's the second, or tied with the first largest expense in my life. So I can't keep this up forever. So I've started putting out the budget. Going to shoot for somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 for the first major fundraiser push. The more we can actually get rounded up, the better off we're going to be, because we've got some specific goals that could use just a chunk more than I've been putting into it personally, and we're just not going to get there if I'm funding it personally. So right now we've got one main location, Archive Room 1, that you guys have seen, where we've got a little over 1,000 ration items, and that's getting pretty full. I've got everything very neat and orderly in there, and clean and dry, and everything that we want for the museum. But that's, we can no longer do any filming in that space because it's way too tight between all the aisles. There's really nowhere that I could set up and film. So I've been using the shared conference room in that building instead of filming in the office like I was in the first couple weeks there. And that shared conference room is getting harder and harder to guarantee is open for me. And the other stuff that we need to do is going to just take a little more space. So every time I've been streaming, I have to go in a couple hours early. I have to move everything into the conference room. I have to cover the lights that are in there. I have to set up, these kind of set lights so that you guys can see me clearly and can see the rations clearly. I've got to wire everything, run extension cords because there's only one outlet in that room, bring in the light box, put it together, put the sheets inside, put the lights on the side and the top of it, get everything, all that stuff every time. Bring the computer in, wire it all up, every single time we've done any streaming. So it's been a little too much. And I want to make that a little better by getting a second room and setting up a streaming and photography and 3D scanning space that we don't have to take apart, and maybe put a couple computers in there. The whole idea there would be then we have a space where I could have, anybody who's looking to volunteer that's in the Philly area, they could come in during the week. They could have an actual place to go to and work on and go through tasks there. And so that, we can we can do things like this without having to spend half the time doing the prep and tear down and spend all the time actually working on the rations. So that's the hope there. And then, a crazy goal, if the fundraiser goes extremely well, I want to get it so that we have a third room, and the third room would start being the next archive. I haven't bought anything for the Ration Museum in a little over a month, probably going on 2 months actually, and I'm going to try my hardest not to buy anything for a while. I spent a lot out of pocket on a lot of items, and now that there's just no space, they're starting to stack up in the aisles in the museum again, and I just, we can't keep doing that. So in the meantime, if anybody spots anything they know the museum needs to have and they're feeling generous, we can always accept donations, and that would be wonderful, and we'll make space for that. But I'm just not going to go out and try and track down every rare thing in the world for a while. And just so you guys know, that's basically how the museum exists. I spend a lot of time on eBay, and lately you guys have been sending me a lot of good leads that are just too hard to ignore. But I think we have a really solid base of artifacts. There's no denying that we're covering a huge chunk of military ration history, and that I think that's a good starting point to get everybody else involved and get a bigger community going around this. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Looks like we got somebody Russian in chat. Howdy. Or it's a bot. Don't know. I don't know if anybody here is a mod. Let me see if I can do anything from here. Yeah, I can. So they may just be saying howdy. If so, howdy. If it keeps on popping up, then we'll push somebody out. But yeah, the acquisitions have just been a little too much on me. I know we've been finding all kinds of crazy good stuff, but I think rather than putting my effort into searching and buying and all that stuff, I need to put some of that money towards hiring some professional help for things like social media and the fundraising, in the meantime, before we can get, a big enough volunteer team to cover those kinds of things. I lost my train of thought again. Anyway, we'll come back to all that. I just wanted to give everybody a little update on where this all stands. And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I've got the database, the catalog database, and I've got about 20,000 photos now. We're gonna put effort into making that a part of the museum website before going too much further with the collecting. We're gonna try and make sure that everything we have is visible and searchable, and hopefully start building out a space where we can have volunteers come in and write out descriptions and link to documents and other websites that talk about the same rations, or bring in people's reviews, or whatever it happens to be, so that when somebody goes to the Ration Museum site 5 years from now, they're going to have this massive database of all kinds of rations, the years they were produced, the companies that made them, what they were like, photographs of then and now, that kind of stuff. That's what we want. We want a place where we have the most complete ration database out there. And obviously we don't have that now, so there's a lot of work between here and there. Go ahead. They're not saying anything else. VOR-NGO doesn't mean anything to me, so go ahead. Amelie's saying the Russian guy sent a link to a website with a very closeless lady. Oh, I don't see that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and block person on YouTube. Okay, they're blocked. I could have sworn I saw that same username in Smokey's chat last night, but I could be crazy there. So these were a deal that you just can't say no to. And I collect rations like this just for my own survival prepper kind of stash. And I eat them pretty often just as day-to-day meals. I've had rations for lunch or dinner at least 6 times in the last week. So, and usually have rations at some meal 4 to 6 times a week, just because I really, really like rations, So I like to find deals like this so that I can keep them on hand, because when you can find something well priced, it's actually cheaper than groceries are in Philadelphia right now to eat a lot of this stuff. For instance, these are I want to say it comes out to like $4 a meal once you calculate it out, and that's really not bad. So this guy was selling these on eBay for $25 a case, and about $40 shipping. But I bought 3 of them, and he knocked off a case's worth of shipping. Knocked off like $38. So it turned out to be a pretty good deal. Like $160 for 3 cases of HDRs. And check this out. These aren't your typical HDR finds. These are packed in May of 2021. So these are brand new. These are as new as a box of HDRs is going to get. So we're going to see what's in these. I have 2 cases up here because these are marked A and B. And we're going to just take a look at everything that's inside. And then we're going to open up probably 2 or 3 of these, look at their contents, and then I'm going to cook one of them all the way through. I've got a pot of water sitting over there heating up. So we're going to do some boiling bags since these don't come with flameless ration heaters. And we're just going to see what those are like. So it's beans, HDRs are generally beans because they're meant to be as culturally neutral, I would say, as palate and culturally neutral as you really can get, so that there isn't as much of a risk of dropping these into an area where they're really, really needed, and locals having to make a choice between, sticking to their religious guidelines or their cultural guidelines or eating food. They get to just eat. So it's, generally pretty basic food. And it's just meant to be calories. So these are shooting for, I want to say 2,000 calories. They are a full 24-hour ration, but they will seem pretty lacking compared to most rations because they're shooting for extreme calorie density. So a regular main, for example, in an MRE is usually between 240 and 350 calories, somewhere in that range. A lot of them tend to be in the 280, 300 range. These are 500 per main, so that's quite a big difference. So, and then the shake that you get with this is a sweet potato shake. I think there's 2 types, but they're also pretty darn calorie dense compared to your regular rations. Sodium. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're really high, but generally you need extra sodium in a desert environment, which has historically been one of the most likely places we're dropping these. You need sodium to retain your water so that you're not getting as dehydrated. It's why we have salt pills for part of like the high temperature survival kits and that sort of thing. So, hey, we got Dave coming in. Booger Butt. Good to have you. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else joining recently? I don't think so. I think we got everybody. So we're going to cut these straps and we're going to take a look inside these, and hopefully we'll get a good idea of what we got going there. I've heard that there's really not much variety in the AmeriQual set. Warnick is still making the 5 meals, 2 of each meal, but AmeriQual I think is just making 2. So I'm wondering if they're the same 2 meals in the A case and the B case, or if it's 1 meal in the A case and the other meal in the B case. But either way, we're going to find out. So let's get the camera up a little higher so we can look down in there, and we'll swap over. All right, so this one is marked A. We can see the TTI, the time and temperature indicator, is just fine. I'll hold that a little closer. Yep, we got the center is dramatically less dark than the outer ring. So just for anybody who's not familiar with the TTI on a ration, that is your buy it or don't buy it symbol if you're looking for food. You see a lot of people on Craigslist or eBay selling cases that they don't know what they're doing, or they do know and they're jerks. But usually I would say don't know what they're doing. We got another bot already? Oh yeah, we do. All right. Block. Thanks for the heads up, guys. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how to make anybody a mod while this is going, but I see Corey's saying, Amelie's saying it's all good, would become a mod, and I think a couple of you guys might already be. So if anybody is a mod, just go ahead and ban the bots. Otherwise, just at Ration Museum me here, and I will do my best to ban them quick. Interesting. I wonder why there's a bit more of a bot attack lately, but 2 isn't that bad, right? All right, so let's take a look inside this case. Usually I try and save the straps, but I have so many straps saved right now, and these are for eating, not for saving. So we're going to see quickly what's in here. Oh, I got distracted. I was saying, the TTI. When you're buying from somebody on eBay or in person or on Craigslist, absolutely make sure they send you a picture of that indicator. If you get it and it's the same color as the outer ring in the middle or darker, so you're looking at, this little circle here. If this middle part that's currently very pale is the same color as the ring or darker than the ring, those aren't going to be good MREs. Basically, the only thing in there you'd be able to eat would be, the extremely resilient stuff like crackers and maybe even peanut butter. But if there's cheese in there, no way. The entrees, no way. You really don't want to risk it when your indicator is like completely dark. All right, pull these straps out of here, toss them down there. All right, so the Humanitarian Daily Ration, I want to say started in the 90s, getting put to use in places like Haiti. There was originally a dark brown bag version of this that I've never put my hands on, but in between the dark brown bag and the salmon colored bag that we're about to look at was the infamous yellow HDR. Bad vibes in the room. Oh, sorry. Not sure what you mean. But good to have you here, Dave. And I hope to see you again soon. So, we got a MFOS. Welcome. Got a question. How do we know if the sticker is original and when it is attached? Certainly there could be folks that are trying to use stickers to trick you, but I would honestly say that that's not going to be likely, because the people that are going to be selling with the darkened stickers or selling these old ones, they would have to have some way of getting these military contracted indicators. I don't think I've ever seen them for sale directly. So the things you want to look at would be the branding. You would want to make sure, let's see, there's just a little bit of sticker goo on this one, but the branding here is Fresh Check. So it's a Fresh Check indicator. It's marked TTI 12. So I'm not sure if the 12 has anything to do with the timing of it, but I think that's a really good question to ask, and a good thing for the museum to potentially put some info together on. Um, I would think they would be a little too hard to easily snag, so that you'd have be able to trick people into buying older MREs, but um, they're they're always going to be on the same side of the case as the inspection test date. So that's one thing to look for. Just because they want to have that in one place when they're looking at them. They don't want to have to flip the box all around. So you'll want to make sure that they're on the same side as the inspection date and the production date. And you'll want to make sure they're fresh choice. And other than that, if you really, really, really wanted to get specific about it, you could take a hair dryer to one, and see if it darkens, as opposed to it just being like a counterfeit sticker. You could get really close and see if there's any indications of the sticker being like laser printed or anything like that. But overall, I would think people that see them as darkened or overexposed are going to tear them off more so than put a fake one on there. So if you see a little patch about that big of torn cardboard or sticker residue and there's no TTI, I would say go ahead and not buy that case for food, because it's potential that they tore that off to hide the fact that it was overexposed. Now for collecting, just to show the stuff, to put it on a shelf, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Honestly, it could net you a better deal. So we've got, these are salmon colored. I was starting to say just a little bit ago, the in between the dark brown and the salmon was yellow HDR. Yellow didn't last too long because it was the same size and shape as unexploded cluster munitions. And when dropped overseas in areas where cluster bombing was happening, there were incidents where people picking up what they thought to be rations went in to pick up cluster munitions and were killed. At least that's the story around it. I don't have dates or specific incidents or anything, but there were a few articles about the comparison between the size and shape of the two. And they pretty quickly switched over. In fact, I want to say there were only 1 or 2 production runs of the yellow. So what we've got here, so we've got menu 2 right here at the bottom. I see another 2. See another 2. See another 2. All right, so these are all menu 2 on top. Maybe it's menu 2 throughout the whole box, or no, we got 1. Yeah, we've got our menu 1s on the second layer. So we're going to take a menu 1 and a menu 2 from box A. We're going to put the rest back. And then we're going to open up a box B. Then we're going to take a menu 1 and a menu 2 from box B. And then we're going to take a look at all 4 of those contents and see if there's any reason at all that we have, the A and B designators on these cases. There'd be no reason that they would already be on the case. The printing's completely different. They don't start out, with this and then print the rest. They print the boxes and then they put the dates on when they're shipping them out, when they're packing them. Amelie's saying the yellows were during Enduring Freedom from 2001. So I guess I want to say the last generation of the yellows were November 2001. So they would have been produced that year and used the next year to 2 years before the salmon ones took over. All right, so just gonna cut these straps again. All right. Who's corrupting Pete? I see Pete saying his innocent sensibilities have been corrupted. Nobody's allowed to corrupt Pete over there. Oh, power just got yanked out. I think it's just slowly trying to leave. Let me see what I can do to keep that from falling again. I think I should hold it. All right. Sorry about that. All right, let's continue this. We're taking a look in here. Hey, Mike, welcome. At least see people saying, hey, Mike. I don't see Mike in this. Oh, no, there he is. Okay. I'm always paranoid that I'm only getting part of the chat or something, but I think I'm seeing it all. All right, so same thing. We've got 2s on top and 1s down below. I'm gonna guess. Yep, okay. So, get this case out of the way. So these are the B case, and these are the A case. And just in case anybody hasn't seen one of these cases all the way around, let me just look at that with you for a second. So, we've got United States of America in quotes for some reason. Humanitarian Daily Rations across the front. Picture of somebody eating food, just to have more universal understanding of what this box is. And then on this side, we've got food gift from the people of the United States of America. We've got our standard end cap, Humanitarian Daily Rations, 10 meals, weight 24 pounds. These were Ameriqual, made in Evansville. We've got our normal bottom of the box. And that's the markings on these. They are a little different than a regular ration box, so I wanted to show you guys. All right, so let's start with the A's. I'll tilt that just a little. Oh, hey, Tim, good to see you as well. All right, so let's take a look. Normally, on a regular MRE, we would have a spot. Okay, here we go. You can see, maybe you can. There is a little upward triangle kind of along the seam, and it's usually on the top, so you put your fingers at the peak of that little triangle and pull, and it should open right up. Hey, look, Ameriqual is a big fan of inner bagging their rations. And that's a nice little extra touch because it does give just one more moisture barrier in case the outer bags get damaged. Oh, we got Angry Blacksmith. Hey, Jeremiah, good to have you. So we're just gonna tear this open. And get the contents out over here. So this is menu 1, case A. And overall, I'm not expecting a ton of variety in these. So we've got one card that covers the 2 meals. So we've got bean salad and beans with potatoes. Interesting. I don't think I've ever had the beans with potatoes. I've had the bean salad before. Got a very, very simple accessory packet with your standard MRE spoon. And this one's got just a wet wipe, some salt, and some pepper. Okay, so this is very different. Let's see. These are going to be hard to really read because of the foil, so I'm just going to need to make sure I get a good angle on them for you guys. So this says banana apple smoothie, and unlike a lot of unlike all the other milkshake kind of products, this isn't dehydrated or powdered. This is ready to go. There's nothing in this that's going to expect somebody to cook, to have water boiling and that sort of thing. Though I am going to go ahead and heat this stuff up. So, okay, we have sunflower butter. Let's see, maybe this will be a better way to read these. So this is a new one on me. Sunflower butter, need before opening. Almost 400 calories in this pack. There's 370 calories in this. So we've got the banana apple smoothie. We've got sunflower butter. We've got, and you know, over everything is just over and over again. United States of America, United States of America. This is a Hearts and Minds product. This is a attempt to win the hearts and minds of the people of the region that we're currently engaging in. So it's going to remind them regularly that they're eating something, you know, for free from the States. So this is an oatmeal cookie. We got, it's going to be terrible trying to read any of this stuff. So yeah, oatmeal cookie. There we go. We got a packet of strawberry jam. It's like a box full of mirrors, you know? See, Fordman's saying all those beans and HDRs, I feel sorry for anybody downwind of somebody who's been eating HDRs for a while. Yeah, it's just beans, you know? Normally you'd see like red beans and rice, and refried beans and stuff like that. So interesting. Beans and potatoes, bean salad. So we've got, speaking of, we had a second pack of strawberry jam. So there's 2 strawberry jams, 1 nut butter. We've got 1 packet of crackers. And then we've got the 2 entrees. We've got beans with potatoes. This was packed on the 98th day of 2001. And we've got, 2021. 2021. And then we've got, on the 103rd day, we've got our bean salad. So this is what's in a 2021 AmeriQual HDR Case A Menu 1. All right. We also kind of have to keep in mind 2021 was a ridiculous kind of year. Maybe not as bad as 2020 in terms of supply chain, but you got to think that some of this is going to be affected by availability of goods, and that that these companies potentially had to just kind of wing it and use what they had. So there may be some variance between what I've got and what other people have got. But so for the Case A Menu 1, we've got an oatmeal cookie, a banana apple smoothie, 2 packets of strawberry jam, 1 packet of sunflower butter, 1 packet of crackers, and a pack of beans and potatoes, and bean salad. So we're going to put all this back in the Menu 1 bag. And we're going to open up Menu 2 from Case A. Matt's saying he's got to go. If so, thanks for coming and have a great rest of your week. Paul's saying that's not a bad menu. No, honestly, this sounds like a lot of good food. I'm looking forward to dinner. I have not eaten today because these are big, and I want to try as much of it as I can in one sitting. So pretty much going to have my whole meal here today. All right, let's look at this case A menu 2. Again, we got the inner bag. Let's do a nice look at the front of one of these. So we've got triple language instructions, English, French, and Spanish. We've got, the same message generally. I'm not sure what this second set of numbers are on here. We've got the first set 1137 for the pack date. But then we have just 13 over here. So I'm not sure what that means. Maybe the lot that day or something like that. All right, so let's take a look inside this one. So I had heard that no matter what, you're going to get bean salad, and beans and potatoes. So that does look to be the case so far. We got bean salad, beans and potatoes again. So we're going to just kind of move through this one a little quicker. Beans and potatoes, bean salad, oatmeal cookie. All right, this time we've got a sweet potato grape smoothie. That's a little different, right? And these smoothies are 360 calories. Thermopack in Stone Mountain, Georgia put them together. Then we've got a pack of crackers, strawberry jam, sunflower butter, strawberry jam. Okay, so literally the only difference in the case A between menu 1 and 2 is the smoothie. We have 2 packets of strawberry jam and 1 packet of sunflower butter in each of those. And we've got oatmeal cookie in both of them, and the same 2 entrees, bean salad and beans and potatoes. So the sweet potato and grape is an interesting combination. I think that's the one I'm going to go for if there's no other, if we don't find something ridiculous in the next bag. It's going to be one of these menu 2s. So just going to put all this back in the bag. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the 2 case B entrees. Who came up with those smoothie combos? Well, banana apple doesn't sound too weird, but sweet potato grape does sound a little weird, right? I mean, maybe because they're both purple? I don't know. And, there are varieties of sweet potato. I'm a big fan of the purple ones, personally. Okay, so we're going to take a look in case B, menu 1. Uh-oh. We got a little something up top there. Liquid. Not much of a smell to it. Not sure what the liquid is, but we got a little bit more there. We'll see. See what, if anything, is leaking. Okay, so menu 1, banana apple smoothie, crackers, oatmeal cookie, strawberry jam, sunflower butter, bean salad, beans and potatoes. So there we go. Menu 1 in case A and case B is identical. There is nothing at all different between the 2. I just got whatever the sticky stuff is on me. Might be some jam leaking out, might be some of the smoothie. Just gonna grab a paper towel. check on this water. And I'm gonna throw these two in in the water and get them heating up so that isn't a purple sweet potato just a yam? I don't know which is which. I guess technically one isn't the same as the other, but so I'm gonna put these two in to start heating them up, and then we'll look at the menu too. All right, while they're cooking, I'm going to put these away, and we're going to take a look at the last of these four and just confirm, that there's no difference. I'm not sure why they would have even bothered labeling A and B unless perhaps, they had the printer set up for A and B and just didn't change it. Like if they had the date printer set up for doing MREs and then they did a run of these and didn't bother to turn the A or B off. Hey John, we got John in chat now too. Pete's saying he heard on Emmy Made in Japan that baby food in Europe is eaten by adults because it's genuinely good. I would think it's kind of like smoothies or pâtés or things like that. That would be, I don't think it's too weird. All right, let's take a look at this last one. Fordman's saying, stuff like the smoothies make me wonder if the boys and girls at Natick had a bit too much to drink when they think of the menus. They need something to soak it all up, I guess. All right, so we got bean salad, beans and potatoes, oatmeal cookie, crackers, sweet potato grape smoothie, strawberry, sunflower. All right, yep, that's it. So there is little to no variety in these. Hey, new bot, goodbye, new bot. Goodbye. All right, blocked. So we're going to eat this one. I'm going to take the two entrees and put them in that last one we looked at. They're made the same day, the same factory, the same box, the same everything. Well, I'll forget soon enough that they were ever swapped out in the first place. Thanks, Kaylin. I think I got them. Yeah. Well, hopefully it goes without saying. Don't click links from random bots in chat. Sorry, guys. Can't do anything to keep them from getting here, but we can certainly get rid of them quickly. I could do things to keep them from getting here. I could make it so that, every chat is delayed by 60 seconds and goes through a moderator or something, but that's no fun. I don't think we have a problem with a couple bots. Yeah, likely story, says John. I'm with you. Pete says his mother worked in a nursing home kitchen, and they called that pureed food. They called the pureed food mechanical, like mechanical food. I think of it as just food at its base element. Let's see. So we've got the cookie, we've got some jam, we've got this butter, we've got this sweet potato grape smoothie. Let's get a glass so that we can see what this looks like. And I don't have a tray here, unfortunately, so I can't tray everything up. But I'll get out a plate and we'll get some things plated up over here. I mean, if we even really need to, I'd just wash this table. Screw the plate. We'll use bowls when we get out the entrees. Oh, Pete, your friend Michelle something on Facebook isn't real. She tried to friend me and sent me links too. So yeah, not real. Watch out for that one. Bots everywhere. Bots everywhere. All right, so let's swap over to this. So just gonna pour the smoothie out into this and see what she looks like. So the ingredients we got are sweet potato puree, banana puree, white grape juice concentrate, maltodextrin, sugar, fully refined soybean oil, water, and citric acid. So even though this one doesn't say it's a banana smoothie, it is also a banana smoothie in some way, shape, or form. All right, already got that potato taste to my drink. Oh, this isn't purple. So we're looking at a pale tan brown drink that I may need a spoon for. Just gonna continue to dump that out and then get rid of this. The entrees are boiling up nicely. All right, so it smells good. Tastes great. Yeah. This is really, really good. So this is the sweet potato banana smoothie. I'm gonna put that over there for a second. We're gonna knead up the sunflower butter. John's saying if you don't click the links, you'll miss out on that sweet, sweet Nigerian prince money. Yeah, you know, I am not gonna advise you guys to take any of them up on that offer because it's my money. I'm getting paid by that Nigerian prince. I just had to give him access to my bank. It's going to be fine. Looks like a cup full of mustard, Emily says. Yeah, that's... yeah, it sort of does. Like a big old cup of mustard. So the sunflower butter, I'm assuming the main reason that they're choosing that is allergy and maybe cultural resistance to peanut butter. Probably a lot safer to use sunflower seeds or sunflower butter than peanut butter just due to tree nut allergies versus flower pips or whatever you would call the actual seeds. Hey, we got spicy tuna rolls. Welcome. Just to catch you up, we're taking a look inside 2 cases of Humanitarian Daily Rations produced in May 2021. If you look back at the beginning of this afterwards, you can see that we have 4 menus between 2 cases. All 4 of them are the same except for the smoothie. And between the 2 cases, there's only 2 options. So there's really only 2 of these. Menu 1 has a banana apple smoothie. Menu 2 has a sweet potato... sweet potato grape. But technically they both have bananas in them. So we're going to be eating the menu 2 because I wanted to try the sweet potato grape drink smoothie. And we're going to try the sunflower seed butter and some strawberry jam on a cracker. Same as always, 170 calories, 2 crackers. It's just this extremely reflective material. You know, does anybody know offhand why the HDR contents were reflective like this? I'll go ahead and say I'm not familiar with why that would be. I didn't do any research on it. We've got pretty good looking cracker split. Yeah, those are very nice looking crackers. Smell normal. No indication of heat damage. I see Pete saying, I wonder if the sunflower butter has the legendary longevity of peanut butter. You know, that's a really good question. We'll open one of these up in 20 years and find out. All right, so let's see what a first impression is on this. So it's very dark compared to kind of a more gray look than normal peanut butter. This has got to be one of my favorite I guess you can't say nut spread because it's not made from nuts. It's made from seeds, I guess seed butter. This is my new favorite seed butter. It's sweeter by a little bit. It's really good. I really enjoy that. I'm going to bust open a packet of strawberry jam. And just for anybody wondering, this tends to be my mix style is, you know, just kind of work it like it's a stick and you're making a fire, you know. Actually, if you're making a fire, try to do long motions, you know, try and roll along your arm a little. If you don't have something that you can use as a bow, but if you even have like shoes on, pull your lace, get something a lot longer, put the string between it, and then do 1 loop or 2 loops over the stick that you're using as a drill, and then put something on top, and then just pull back and forth with the bow, and you'll get way more rotations at way higher speed than doing it with your hands, and you'll be much faster at making a fire that way. But sorry, random aside. All right, so we're going to take some of this jam, one of these crackers that's not busted. That came out more like a puree than a jam I'm used to. Spicy saying last time rubbed one like that, it exploded. Yeah, that's a risk. I've definitely had peanut butter packets leak out or cheese, you know, when doing that a little bit. Peanut butter, it's pretty much a requirement to even it back out. Cheese is so much better after it's been fully emulsified again. You know, for one, it warms up just a little bit. You know, it's a lot less gelatinous kind of. And for two, it spreads so much more evenly after it's been, you know, thoroughly mixed. Matt's saying, everybody have a great night. Off to get ready to watch the, I'm assuming you're about, you know, you meant to say game, some kind of game. Eat a quick dinner and watch the Bills game. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Well, good night. Great having you with us. And go Bills, I guess. I assume you're rooting for them. I don't follow, so I don't really know where everybody's at. I guess Philly's out now. I'm not sure. These are great. Um, it's not quite a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but we'll make do. I imagine if you were very, very hungry and needed this as humanitarian aid, this would be very, very thrilling and nice. Mm. Mm. Sorry about that. That just completely fell apart as I was trying to eat it. Just gonna try and clean up a bit. All right. The Eagles are done. Eagles. That sounds more like what they'd say out in Pittsburgh. We've got like giant supermarkets on the east side of Pennsylvania. On the west side, they've got Giant Eagle, separate brand, but they call them like Giant Eagles. Going over to the Giant Eagle. This is really, really good. I've only ever had HDRs a few years in, always past their inspect date before. And, thought of them as something that's not necessarily meant to last as long as an MRE. Yins say stuff like that, huh? But, or use these guys. All right, we got an oatmeal cookie. But yeah, to have one of these fresh, this is great. So the cookie has a little give to it. It's not just completely dried out. Oh my God, Pete, you go to Penzic? I dated a girl for the better part of a decade that was her mecca. That's where she went every year for like a week and change. I didn't know you were a Renaissance reenactor. Or, just enjoy Renaissance style camping. I never got to do it. We each had our own kind of things. I would go to Burning Man, she would go to Penzic. But yeah, I've heard a lot about Penzic. There's quite a bit going on there. Haven't been in 15 to 20 years. Well, she would have been there 15 years ago. I mean, she's probably still going. But, all right, so I'm going to go check on the boiling rations. I think it's been about 10 minutes. So they should be ready to go. I'm going to grab them and bowl them up and then be right back over. So in the meantime, I'm just going to throw up I'll leave it running. Doesn't matter. You guys can hear me over there, or maybe I'll even take this with me. There we go. All right. What is my cat doing? What the heck? Why are you up there? Why are you up on top of the fridge? I've never, ever seen my cat on top of the fridge. All right, so this one might be a little cooler than this one. Well, they are both very, very hot, so I think we're good. I'm actually going to tear this one sideways instead of the notches, just because it's going to be easier to squeeze out. Very, 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 very hot. Alrighty. Wait, who's making tuna? That's a cat. Younger cat has not figured out how to get on the fridge. I literally have never seen this cat on top of the fridge and have no idea what she's doing up there. There is a bag of cat food up there, but she's got a bowl full of cat food, and she's never been one to attack sealed bags, so... spicy tuna rolls, chopping some cabbage for some Korean coleslaw. Nice. Kaylin's saying the HDR she had a few years back were from Warnick. They were around 2013 and had fig bars and Pop-Tarts instead of smoothies and cookies. Yeah, that's what I'm remembering. Are fig bars, Pop-Tarts, and like a wider variety of stuff. I think they still do that. I think Warnick is still totally doing their normal 5-menu HDRs. AmeriQual probably got picked up to do extras. I'm not 100% sure, but these remind me of APACs, which are AmeriQual civilian meals, in that they don't give you variety. You get, the same backing components in every single meal, and a different entree, basically. I'm not sure, Pete. I'm not aware of anybody apologizing for anything. Sorry. Or you just mean me saying sorry all the time. It's kind of just how I talk. All right. I'm going to take a look. So these are pretty sticky. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of these spoons. So we've got the bean salad and we've got the beans and potatoes. So right here you can see the beans and potatoes. There's big chunks of the potatoes, but the meal itself has kind of this, well, let's see, maybe it's kind of a gluey consistency to it. So that's interesting. That's not usually a great sign. In something that's been around for, like in a ration that's out of date, when it's got that kind of gluey, stringy, leaves like, sticky kind of spreading strands between, the food and like you lifting the spoon away. That's a sign of decomposition usually. But it could also just be the sauce. So in this case, I'm assuming it's the sauce, considering everything else is perfect. And we're going to give it a shot. This is great. This case right here would probably go over very well in, the British military. It's just cases of beans. Each of these is basically 20 pounds of beans and 4 pounds of miscellaneous. Oh, meant to be on this camera. Sorry. The beans taste a tiny bit undercooked. I probably could have given it some more time. This is the one with potatoes. You can see the lighter chunks in there. Let me swap over and go back to this one. So you can see the dark beans and then the little lighter squares. The squares are the potatoes. Looks like beans and potatoes and caramel sauce, Mike's saying. I mean, and it almost tastes like that. These are sweet. Very tasty. I'm going to take a look at the ingredients list. So the beans with potatoes are water, kidney beans, maltodextrin, soybean oil, tomato paste, sugar, textured vegetable protein, caramel color, potatoes, food starch, onion, salt, soy, lecithin, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, spice, and oh, warning, contains soy. So these are 500 calories. There's 32% of your recommended sodium in here, 730 milligrams. It's a lot of sodium. And then on the other meal, there's another 30% at 690 milligrams of sodium. So between the two of these, you're already at 1,300 grams or 1,400 grams plus 1,420 grams of sodium. Between these two, or milligrams, sorry. Oh my God, 1,420 grams of sodium would be insane. That would be pounds and pounds and pounds of salt. Let's see. Kaylin's saying the Sopatco medium or low sodium case she had only has the 6 menus across 14 rations. Didn't get to taste everything because there's some variety in the case, I guess, and there's, sometimes you don't actually get all the meals that they make. Like you'll end up with 5 of one thing or 6 of one thing. So Tampa 27-27 with 42 seconds left in the fourth. Well, there's an exciting end of game. If you need to take a minute. So Mike was saying it basically looks like caramel sauce. Well, the third ingredient is maltodextrin. So there's more basically complex sugar in this meal than there is soybean oil or tomato paste or any of that. Potatoes are even way down. So there's quite a bit of sugar in here, in the sense, well, the maltodextrin. So it is very caramel-like. It's funny. Had to take a Lasix reading. Yeah, 1,400 milligrams of salt. 1,400 grams of salt. That should take you a while. That should be like 100+ days worth of salt. All right. I'm almost finished this whole thing. I was only going to try a little bit and then try this other one, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to eat the whole rest of this thing. Like I said, I didn't eat today. Let me just switch back over again, though. Wait, where'd my mouse go? You really can see the sauce is very stretchy. And it's basically just like caramel. So Amelie, I don't know if that's as enjoyed by the Brits. I know for whatever reason it seems like you're fans of less sweet beans than we are. We definitely put a lot of brown sugar in baked beans in the States. Just by default, getting there almost. Come here. Nope. All right. Definitely going to have the cat on stream at some point. Well, other than on top of the fridge. So we're at 450 calories in the bean salad and 500 in the beans and potatoes. So between those, we've got 950 calories. Each of these packets of jam is another 70. So we're at 1,000. Wait. Yeah, we're at 1,090. Wait. Yeah, we're at 1,090 between those. The sunflower oil was what, 360? 370. So, so 1,090, 1,390, 1,460. The cookie is another 240. So 1,660, 1,700. So we're at 1,700 calories, and I think that's the grand total. So a 1,700 calorie ration is technically a little shy for a full day, especially for somebody doing anything active outdoors. But it's probably also oh, I forgot the smoothie, of course. So I don't have the or no, I do. Let's see. Let's take a look at one of these other packaged ones. 360. So there we go. So we're at 2,060 calories in the menu too. So yeah, that's a full day's calorie intake. Beans, beans, beans. So the crackers are Ameriqual. The cookie is Sterling. The jam and butter are Thermopack down in Stone Mountain. The smoothie is probably likewise Thermopack. Yep, Thermopack, Stone Mountain, Georgia. And the mains, don't know that we'll get direct indication on the mains of manufacture. I'm going to go ahead and just say Ameriqual. The older salmon HDRs sometimes had other jam or jelly. Kaylin saying, yeah, I think so. I kind of remember raspberry being among them. I'd have to check. But before we get too far, I'm just going to take another drink of this delightful sweet potato smoothie. Oh, how'd it end up? How'd the Tampa game end up? I guess it's over now. All right, we're moving on to the, let's see, this is the bean salad. So bean salad, I think of usually as like a vinegary thing, but I'm thinking of 3-bean salad, which is a specific dish that this is not. So what we're looking at here, is water, kidney beans, navy beans, pinto beans. Oh, it is a 3-bean salad. Okay. Carrots, sugar. Oh, wait, sorry. Other way around. Sugar, carrots, white vinegar, Okay, so this is what I'm expecting. It's just very, very dark and very, heavy, probably with the sugar. Food starch, soybean oil, onion, maltodextrin, red pepper, salt, black pepper. All right, so let's take a try on this. Okay, there's definitely a vinegar taste to it, but it's subtle. It gives it kind of just a little bit of tang. It is very caramel-like sauce again. And thank you, Mike, for that call out, because now I'm just going to use it the whole video. It's the best description of what I'm looking at here. Yeah, it's basically a 3-bean salad if it was in barbecue sauce. That's more barbecue flavored caramel sauce. Well, I know I just see Jesse saying wants the Bengals to win. Former LSU Tigers. Well, this case came from Louisiana. And that seems to be a lot of the HDRs that have ever wandered around the United States or, originated. At one point, a lot of them came from Katrina aid, and then a little later, a lot of them were coming from, I forget the Gulf hurricane, early 2010s, but there were a bunch that got distributed down there for that. A lot of stuff got distributed East Coast for Sandy and made its way around. But you always got to be careful about the ones coming out of Louisiana and Mississippi. Just, if they're not stored in a cooled environment away from the humidity, they're in danger, Am I crazy? Was there not a Hurricane Sandy? I'm pretty sure there was. That was the big East Coast shut everything down one 5 years ago or something. Did a lot of damage to Jersey. United States just announced it's reducing its staff at the Ukraine embassy. I mean, we've done that before. We've reduced, or even completely emptied it. We've emptied the Ukraine embassy before and gone back. I try and avoid politics on this channel. I mean, I will say I'm just going to avoid it. Wouldn't want to be in anybody's shoes over there right now. Sandy hit New Jersey and New York, says John. So yeah, I'm not crazy there. Kalen says, back in 93, after the 500-year flood that swamped Iowa, we never saw rations handed out, just water. 93 would have been prior to a lot of that happening. They'd been in some stockpiles, especially Desert Storm excess stuff. But, maybe they think folks in Iowa can handle themselves differently. I don't know. Yeah, I get you, Jesse. So I'm really liking this salad. The kidney beans are, again, they're not undercooked. They're just not. They're not really soft. They're a little crunchy, not dry crunchy, but hard to describe, I guess. Beans that have gotten 2/3 of the way through soaking, maybe. Yeah, when was Sandy? I can't remember if I was back east or if I was still in Montana at the time. Pete, I can't imagine this city going blackout. I've only had a couple since I've been here. One during the apocalypse 2 years ago. I was up on my roof and the power kicked out for a good chunk of South Philadelphia. And it was just eerie. It was just really eerie. Standing on top and looking at, the whole neighborhood and people with flashlights. It was a moonless night. It was just dark. People walking up and down the streets with flashlights and, cars trying to, there were electric company trucks going around trying to figure out where the problem was. I think it was a downed pole somewhere or a blown up transformer or something. Kaylin says she did get a few cases of the canned water by Anheuser-Busch. Interesting. I have a bunch of pouched water, and somewhere I've got a whole bunch of those tall gray cans of water, like a dozen of those. And the red, white, and blue survival water from shelters in the 60s. Got a bunch of those. All right, still working on this. This is a lot of food. All right, gonna have a little bit more of the sunflower butter and jelly. They give you a really, really big packet of the butter, so you have to put an inordinate amount per piece. $2012? It was that far back in time already? Oh my God. 10 years ago? Wow. Time just moves way too fast. This smoothie is fantastic. And it's really, really, well, let's see, maybe this way would be a better. It's really thick. It sticks to everything. And it really is just a smoothie. It tastes like the vegetables were just pureed. Another chunk of this cookie. $190 milligrams of potassium in the sweet potato smoothie, and 434 milligrams of potassium in the banana smoothie. You're supposed to get about 4 grams, about 4,000 milligrams of potassium a day. I don't know anybody that does. What's the what for, Rosie? I just see what. Spicy Tuna saying, I remember when the used car market was flooded with flooded cars from the hurricanes. Yeah, stuff that had been underwater and avoided salvage titles, but you still had to try and figure out, had your car been flooded, because there's all kinds of things that can come up and be problems later if your car had been underwater. What's my favorite junk food outside of rations? Chocolate. Just chocolate. Though all my favorite go-to snacks are rations. Like right now in my cabinet, it's just tons and tons of ration stuff. I buy the First Strike rations whenever I can find them cheap, and I consider like $105 a case to be cheap because there's 27 meals in there. I've been lucky. I've been finding them at 115, 105, 120 every once in a while. But those are just bags of snacks. You know, I like the shelf-stable sandwiches. I heat them up a little bit, but I know a lot of people don't like the Bridgeford like pepperoni stick sandwich, which isn't the Italian one. I think I said that last time, and I meant there's one that's like nacho cheese and meat or whatever it is, and the Italians actually like ground meat and some kind of sauce, probably a tomato-based sauce inside. But everything in those things, you know, you've got milkshakes and just Pop-Tarts and cookies, and you know, just everything is just junk food. Crackers and like combos and Cheez-Its and all that stuff. The Bridgeford sandwiches are dry, but if you nuke them for about 20 seconds, they're, you know, whatever moisture is in the meat, or you could even put like a cup of water in the microwave with them. Well, I guess you'd have to be doing it a little longer for that to matter. But yeah, I would agree they're a little dry, especially just eating right out of the bag. But really much can't go wrong with an FSR. They're just a bag of snacks. Yeah, and Rosie's saying that the trail mix and those are the best. They're really good, you know, and they have the ones with the like pretzel balls, and then you know they're big bags of trail mix. John, low moisture in those things means they'll have a longer shelf life. There's that fine line between how dry should we make it and how dry can we make it, that they have to walk when they think about, you know, long-term decomposition. Some of them have that desiccant pack in, some of them don't. And I think overall they're trying to go for a particular level of moisture stability to just make sure that the shelf life stays 3+ years. We got somebody new joining chat. Walter? Oh, no. Never mind. That's another bot. Sorry, my mouse is frozen. Oh, no, you move away from that. Oh, did I? Okay. For a second there, I almost blocked Pete, and I don't know how to unblock. Lithuanian rye bread, New Zealand bread, Canadian hamburger. Yeah, you know, but the Canadian stuff, they've got it figured out. They've got the best bread. Now, I don't really like 10, 12 years ago Canadian bread. I thought it tasted chemically, but the new stuff, that's where it's at. They've got that figured out. The rye bread in the Lithuanian stuff, I don't think it'd be good in 5 years. A lot of the stuff in there, it's regular kind of cellophane packets in the outer bag, which, excuse me, it's very easy to perforate. So, oh, hey, we got Bob in here too. Welcome. And goodbye. But good to see you. Yeah, we're wrapping up. We're getting to the end anyway, so no worries. Good to see you, though. I'm glad to be back. Or when we say New Zealand doesn't use bread, but they do make it for the Aussies. Yeah, I haven't. So the last CR1M I had was from like 08, I want to say. So it's or PR1M. That was a PR1M. I've never actually eaten a CR1M, though I've had some of the mains before. I know Smokey just reviewed one over the last 2 streams, so that's been fun. That was neat to watch. I missed the first couple minutes of last night, but I did get to stay till the end, and That looked really good. I've got some of that bag of cheese, and I've got stupid amounts of army crackers, mostly from 92, but I have like 50 packs or 100 packs or something from 92. Latvian bread looks amazing when it's not moldy. I agree. When I think of Lithuanian rations, I think of those extremely, extremely hard, like hardtack biscuits, basically, with like the little. I'm not sure what seeds they are in them, but they've got that very specific taste to them. I really like them, but they are tooth breakers if you're not careful. Kaylin saying the only CR1M she had was raided by customs. And foreign MRE dropped in 2 U.S. mains. Oh, gotcha. So they it got mangled on the way to them, and then they just kind of substituted U.S. stuff for what was missing. I mean, they got to do what they got to do. That's Art and Nina, right? I think I've only ordered stuff from them one time, but gotta love them. They're finding great finds and sharing them with folks in the States. Can't beat that. I mean, granted, it's never going to be cheap to get foreign MREs. Caraway seeds. Thank you. Appreciate that, John. Yeah. I think the bread in the CR1M is made in New Zealand, but I don't really know much about New Zealand rations themselves. I know a lot of the entrees are made in New Zealand too, for the Australian stuff. For the CR1Ms, not for the PR1Ms. I don't know who does their freeze drying, but I've had those before and really like those. I have definitely had rations raided, John. It happens, a lot more in the old days. In the old days, it was almost 50-50 whether or not you were going to get your foreign rations into the States with 1 or 2 in a package. Nowadays, I get boxes this big in the mail from overseas with just rations in them. Seems like if you coat the whole box in layers of plastic and then just duct tape the whole thing in both directions, they never open them up. Maybe they look at it and they're like, this is just a pain. Moving on. But, yeah, and, with the language barrier, sometimes they just end up saying military rations, anyway. So I just remembered I got a couple Hungarians from Balu that I think they're probably at the museum by now. I've never had a Hungarian ration, and I do intend to eat one of those too. So, or no, I have 3. I got 3. Maybe I did open them on stream. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I did open them on stream. So yeah, I've got 3 Hungarian rations. Interesting. Going to want to try those at some point. Amelie's saying to ask about New Zealand. Has a very good source for them and can answer questions. And they're usually packed by Lockheed Martin. Interesting. Is there a Lockheed plant in New Zealand? I mean, there would have to be, right? Saran wrap and gaffer tape, says John. Camping equipment, camping supplies. That's where it's at, if you can get that through to whoever's sending it to you. Otherwise, you're running the risk of not getting it. But oh yeah, going back to the raided rations. One of my favorite stories there is this box of Chinese rations that I got. Old school PLA rations, 07, 06, something like that. And I got, I want to say 4 in one box, maybe 3 in one box. One ration was just completely gone. One ration was box torn, but contents all there. And that was a Chinese Navy. And then I had 2 of the standard PLA style green bag, big military symbol in the middle of the bag. One was totally perfect. The other one was just slit down the side, torn open, main removed, and then wrapped in this neon green Department of Homeland Security tape. So I still have that with the tape on it because it's just awesome. I mean, it wasn't great at the time. I did want to eat that one. They took out the pork lo mein. And then the other one was beef something or other. And the note, and the Navy one was also meat. The note was like meat removed. And it's like, yeah, well, you got some of it. Yeah, Emily, show me the menu sheet after. I'd love to take a look at that. This is a thing where if I have the database running, like the actual website that collects all this, I can take that and put it in there and start collecting those things alongside, the names of the rations and all that, so that we start to have a place to go for all the extra materials that we're getting for these things. Nathan's MRE has a lot of troubles like that, or at least he says he does. I don't know. He's not my cup of tea. A little more standard YouTube-y, sensationally kind of than I'm normally used to. Yeah, is what it is. I'll check out probably more of his stuff, but the video starts out with, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I'm just done. Done. Although, you got to do what you got to do. And he's got a heck of a lot more people following than I do, so maybe I got something to learn there. Kaylin's saying, last time I got a French RCIR, not only were all 3 meat items taken, but the little baby folding spork was taken out of the stove kit. That's a shame. But hey, I will say something about the folks here. You guys are the best. You guys are the straight up best in the whole ration community. You're all my favorite people. So, I may not have a million people watching this, but the folks that are watching it I wouldn't trade any of you for the world. You're fantastic. That spork is a weapon. Yeah, it is. And that's the kind that it comes folded over and then you fold it out and it kind of snaps into position. They are sharp. Traversing food shown rated boxes. I mean, I guess if you're bringing them in regularly, you're gonna get rated, or gonna get your boxes rated. Hopefully they don't come to your place of business, but they have done that. They have showed up, to talk to folks. I mean, for importing for yourself, there really shouldn't be any laws against that. The food safety laws we have here that apply to ICE and customs and that kind of stuff. Sorry, my throat's getting a little dry, but they're for stopping a mad cow incident is basically why they came about. So we don't want to import large-scale meat from another country that has different food safety standards and potentially end up with, a foodborne illness issue that we otherwise don't have here. So I don't know. I think it's being a little too protectionist. But, for you and me going and getting a ration, there's no chance of outbreak of some, of mad cow disease or something like that from us getting a tainted ration. It would be for, we would be in danger, but, you should be able to take your own risks in life is the way I see it. But when you're a business and you're importing dozens or hundreds of these things, well, technically you are in that, distributing food in a wider scale and could potentially be a source of a greater outbreak. So I understand there's some oversight of that, but I say take your own risks. Let's see. I think I'm caught up on everything everybody's saying. I'm gonna try and get a few more bites out of this. It's cooled down and it's basically turning into look at this. It's got this light caramel brown color. just sticks. Do I have a drink? Well, I had the smoothie. I finished it. Didn't come with anything else. I'm trying to get the authentic. Yeah, gelatinous indeed. Almost got this. But I am definitely feeling full. 2001 meal is a lot. I still got some crackers and peanut butter. Not peanut butter, sunflower butter. Just force a habit there. Some strawberry. The two of those together, it's very apparent that it's not peanut butter, but it's really good. There's something different about those. Did I say 2001 again? If I did, meant to say 2021. Did I say? But yeah, it's definitely a 2021. And it has the whole year written on the box. So there's no guessing in this instance. It says 05202021 on the box. And it says expiration 05/2024. So definitely 21. These are brand new. Smokey was saying last night, and I have to agree, in the old days, we just never got fresh rations. They were always past inspection date when you got your hands on them. Always. Because they'd be thrown out by a depot or something, or they'd be, liquidated by a depot. So, the idea of getting 2021 rations in 2021 or in early 2022, it's just crazy. We're a few days into 2022. When I ordered these, we were like 10 days into 2022, and I'm ordering 2021 cases. That's insane. That's amazing. This is the freshest you're gonna get for these things. The FSRs I have are 2021. They're August 2021. And I've had those since probably October. And that's just the kind of thing you just never would have seen before. I don't know if they're going to different causes or something that don't need as many as they're getting, or if they're not cycling them out. The standard life cycle of a case of rations owned by the military does not include civilian resale at less than a year old. It just doesn't. They generally don't even consider cycling them out when they get to their inspection test date because they're not bad. When you get pallets of MREs that are getting tossed, they tend to be a decade old or older. Those long life ration packets that I got, the 2 cases of, they almost certainly came out of a cycled stockpile in southern central Pennsylvania or northern central Maryland, from what we've been trying to track down in the background to see if we can get any more of them. And they were cycling out early 90s stuff. A bunch of it showed up at the same time. So that tends to be a little more what you would be used to is, it's 2020. So the 30-year-old rations are definitely getting cycled out. But, they're still going to potentially keep and distribute 20-year-old rations or 10-year-old rations. Definitely up to 10 years, you'll still see them in the field. But 20, 30 years old, that's more likely they were just overlooked for a long time. MFOs is saying, try and get your hands on a Finnish ration. It's pretty impossible even here in Finland. Oh, you're over in Finland. Well, hey, welcome from Finland. Used to eat those in the Army in the 80s. I've never had a Finnish ration. I've had Norwegian, and I've had Swedish, and I've had Danish, and like in that region, I've had everything but Finnish. I would really, I'd be really interested to try and find those. Somebody reached out recently about getting me some modern Swedish rations, and I replied, I just haven't heard back again. It's been like 6 months, so I got to find them and poke them. I don't think I can eat these last couple bites. I'm already burping in between every other thing I say. But overall, I got close. Let's see. I got down to no, I can't not eat just 3 bites of food. All right. 1 down, 2 to go. Kaylin saying never did find out if her high school had a stash of K rations somewhere on campus. School was closed down years ago. Probably would have been more likely if they had a fallout shelter that it was stocked with 1962 U.S. Civil Defense crackers. I don't know what it is, but that seems to be the only year they were made in extreme bulk by the National Biscuit Company, aka Nabisco. Oh, okay, that's my heads up. That it's 7 o'clock, but that's usually what you're going to find are the great big tubs of slightly powder coated hard candies, and the metal canisters of crackers in great big 44-pound boxes. And the crackers themselves, I want to say, have a little extra fat in them versus like just a dry cracker. And then there's like kind of a graham cracker style. So K rations was the rumor, at least. Wouldn't that be amazing? A whole basement full of K rations, but I wouldn't want to be stuck eating them. I mean, they weren't even really that edible by the end of the 50s. They were certainly not at the height of U.S. food preservation science. They were slapped together, used for a few years, and discontinued because people were losing a dramatic amount of weight while eating them because they just, okay, it's a box of food. Well, yeah, but it's only like 400 to 500 calories. So if you ate 3 of those a day, you're only getting like 1,500 calories. And half the time they wouldn't get to eat 3 a day. So certainly not the same level of nutrition science that we're applying today in terms of understanding calorie burn by height, weight, and time of exercise and all that kind of stuff, and making modern full day rations for U.S. soldiers tend to be closer to 3,000 calories, or if they're going to get 3 MREs, they're getting closer to 4,000 calories. So yeah, our stomachs got bigger over the years. I get you a little bit, but a full-grown man in 1944 still needed 2,000 calories a day. Our height hasn't really changed since then or anything, but let's see. Amelie's saying Finnish rations haven't come up since 1718, like at all. Yeah. I mean, a lot of countries don't produce a ton of rations, and don't do a ton of field exercises, so they don't wander out. Mike's got a can of the survival biscuits. I've got like 12 or 16 cans, and I've never busted one open. I will eventually. None of them are rusty. All right, 2 more bites. Really got to chew the beans up. But there we go. And just the last of this butter. And there we go. 24 hours worth of food in one meal. Not something I do all the time, but I have my training on this topic, and I could certainly go further than that with the right food. I've been known to sit down and eat 2 pizzas by myself. Even recently. I'm not saying this is like a old version of me when I was still 300 pounds. I'm still, still apt to once in a while just eat a stupid amount. If I get pizzas for a group of friends hanging out and they don't all get eaten by the group, well, I eat all the rest of the pizza just there. I don't know why. I never take it home. Oh yeah. I'm definitely taking off. Calling it here. I just wanted to, to get back in the swing of doing a stream and saying howdy to everybody, since it's been 2 months since I was in the museum. And the stream 3 weeks ago from here was kind of a mess. But this felt like, this was approachable. Just doing a meal and a chat with you guys. Like I said, I'm working on getting a new car after mine got totaled, parked in front of my house in the middle of the night about a month and change ago. No, about a month ago. So, yeah, it got hit at 5 a.m. one day, and thankfully the guy didn't run or anything. So we got it figured out. I'm getting a settlement from it, and I'm going to get another car after that. But, in the meantime, museum's too far away for me to get to every day. Or I mean, not every day, every weekend, without spending a lot extra and all that. So I'll be back here. I'd say let's plan on next week. I'll do another maybe 5 to 7 stream. We'll figure something out. I know I've got all kinds of other rations in the house, so we can take a look through some of that. Maybe I'll get some videos to play for you guys, or we'll go into some history on something small. But I had a really, really, really good time tonight with you guys. I appreciate everybody coming out, and even with the big long hiatus, you're still paying attention for new streams, and I really appreciate that. I hope so too, Kaylin. She's saying I hope I get a new ride soon. So I hope everybody got something out of seeing what's in these AmeriQual Humanitarian Daily Rations. If they're still on eBay, get them. You're never going to find a case of rations for $25. 40 shipping's basically your standard no matter what, but you're never going to find a case of these for $25 again. This guy had to have gotten these pallets either for free or for some insanely low amount per pallet to make anything on this. They're completely fresh. The food is really good, and the base price is $25. I mean, you just can't go wrong. So, like I said, in the end, 3 cost $160. So that's $53 a case, and there's 10 meals each, so it's $5 per entire ration. So, you break that into 3 meals, or three meals equivalent. $5 a day, or like $1.80 per meal or something like that, $1.60, whatever. Either way, it's too good of a deal. I just had to add these to my end of the world supply. All right, guys. Again, just really, really glad you all came out. And let's plan on next weekend at 5. And until then, everybody, you know what to do. Stay rational.